Hello, my name is Valeria Volkova, and this is my leadership interview assignment. I decided for this assignment to interview a person who I think would be very different from any other interviews that I could potentially interview. So this guy, he's first of all Russian. He's from my home country. We used to go to the same high school. Only he was like 2 classes above me, and we never actually talked, but I knew of him because of his involvement in different organizations, and I thought it would be interesting for me and for everyone else to interview someone who has a completely different perspective on leadership. Because he's from a different culture, and I think culture sometimes dictates the style of leadership that you take. Because he never took leadership classes, and because he chose a different path to follow after he completed university. So we were studying in the same high school, and then he went to university to finish a degree, and he was majoring in programming, computer science. He finished university, and he was offered a job in Yandex, which is something like Google. It's a similar platform, it's a similar idea, only thing is Russian and just for Russian people. So it's a pretty huge company. He denied that offer, and he started his own company. Which I think when I heard about it, I was like, wow, why you didn't accept that offer? And what he said is that I like trying new things, I like doing projects, and I will always be able to come back if I want to, but I'm not sure I will have an energy and that ambition to build something of my own. So he started his own business. He started his own business with his partner, his friend, and during the interview, I asked him different aspects of his job, how he did it, what were the challenges, the fears, and the successes, and what would he do differently. So, as I said, I thought it would be pretty interesting for me because these are the answers that I've never heard before, and I definitely consider this person to be a leader. I think, yes, and also his company is expanding, so I think it will be a huge success. Maybe it's not a huge success now, but I definitely believe in his success. So my perception of the individual during the interview, I think he was very calm. He was very confident in himself. Sometimes I think I asked questions that he never asked himself before, but he wasn't lost, and he kind of, I saw that he was enjoying the process of the interview, and he kind of evaluated his work with my interview, which was pretty cool. He considers himself to be a leader because, as he said, he impacts many people. He has, I think, 15 people under his command right now, and he takes responsibility for these people, for his actions, and for the organization. So in this way, he says he sees himself as a leader. Key leadership characteristics that we talked about. Well, when I asked him what are the characteristics of the leader, what are the qualities that every leader should have, he mentioned responsibility, which was pretty general to everybody else's answer. But what is interesting for me is he said, translating to English, he said seeing through people and understanding people. When I asked what he means, he said that it's important to read people and to understand their emotions and what they need at the moment, because he said that sometimes he needs to be a friend, sometimes he needs it's kind of correlates with different leadership styles that we discussed in class. So sometimes he needs to be supportive, sometimes he needs to be directive, sometimes he needs to be coaching. And he said that piece of understanding what the person needs at the moment is very important. Without that piece, you might be on a different level with your workers and colleagues, and you just might not give them what they need and want. And that's important in leadership, and that's important in the workplace, so that there is harmony and balance in the workplace. We also he mentioned the key characteristics and important things: mentorship and guidance. And what was different and something that I've never heard before, he mentioned being firm and strong-willed. And that has a cultural effect, because I started arguing with him, saying that you don't have to be firm with people to be a leader, but in Russia you do. I realized it later and tried to put myself into his shoes, and people will look differently at you if you will be you will seem like not strong and firm person. So that was interesting, and that's something that I've never thought before, that leadership styles do depend on the culture and the people that you lead. So another thing that we kind of talked about is communication, and he mentioned that it's really important. It's really important because he was working with his partner, with his friend, and sometimes miscommunication led him to different things like failures, because they were not realizing who's doing what. They were miscommunicating. So that is an important part. And we kind of brushed out, and he mentioned adaptability as an important factor, because you need to always adapt and see when you have to be supportive leader, kind of leader, directive, or coaching, etc., etc. Well, we discussed, and he mentioned that as a leader, it's fine not to have an answer to every question all the time, and that's what he has in his organization. And he actually sees it as an opportunity to give an opportunity to his workers, employees, to be creative and to try to decide things on their own. That's what he does. I literally asked him, what do you do when you don't know the answer? He says, I'm either asking advice for people who has experience, or I let them do what they do, and I let them make mistakes. I realize that they might make mistakes, but I let them do on my coast, so they grow professionally and develop themselves. So my perception of this person as a leader, I definitely think he has some potential growth. He can become, he's 26 right now, and he will become a greater leader, like in a year, 10 years, or 20 years. But right now, for his age, like, he definitely has done a lot of stuff, and he's impacting a lot of people, and he's passionate about it. I think he's a true leader. He's ambitious, has certain goals that he's working on, and I would say he's different from everyone else. That's what I like about leaders, when they're different. The key statements that this person said about leadership, he mentions that a person, and I'm translating right now, so it might not sound the same, but it sounds something like this. A person should have one big goal, and he should move towards that goal. He should work towards the goal every day, making step-by-steps and not stopping despite the failures. But once that goal is met, the person should find another goal to reach. So the idea is that you never stop, you work hard, you're impacting people, and you just have a courage of not stopping, not giving up. And I loved it, because that is my idea of leadership, and that's what I believe in. And I think every single Every great leader never stopped while working towards his goal. Thank you. That was my leadership assignment, and I hope you enjoy it.